is one of the main squares of the city of Strasbourg. It is surrounded on the three sides by 5 buildings only, of which not each stands a war memorial statue by Leon Ernest Brivier, inaugurated in 1936. It represents a mother holding 2 dead sons, alluding to the dual nature of Strasbourg's history between Germany and France. The memorial replaced an equestrian statue of Emperor Wilhelm I, commissioned in 1897, that stood on the square from 1911.
At the end of the Franco-Prussian War, the newly installed German government were faced with the problem of where to house the royal person, army. It escaped demolition in the 1970s. Instead, it was restored, and today it shares the premises with the Direction Régionale des Affaires Culturelles. Thank you.
A training center for young singers, for one. A reflection of its importance is the status of National Opera, which it has held since 1997.
Operations managers, right? They'll have to organize printing, right? So you'll have to find somewhere nearby, obviously, print shop or something. Go there, check the price, maybe even negotiate if you want. See what they can do. How long will it take, right? Because everything needs to be ready, I think, for Thursday, right? So you don't have much time, right? So be wise, basically, to prepare something in terms of something on Plus Clever, for example. Maybe you'll have to talk to other people and maybe present countries or something and maybe hand out some copies. But it's up to you. I mean, just giving you one of the ideas. You can be very creative and it's up to you, obviously, what exactly you'll do, right? But you'll have to present it somewhere. Do you want to go somewhere? It's up to you and present it. Just tell us before, obviously, you do anything, okay? So everything has to be printed, and you'll have to do maybe some things on Thursday, so you don't have much time, so I suggest that you start going, right? So first the meeting, and then quickly. Do you already know who is in the entrepreneurs group? Maybe just hands up, just quickly. Do you have any preferences? So maybe there are actually less, not 5 and 5, because I know that there are actually less than just 10 students in this group. So whatever you prefer, you don't have to be like 5 and 5 or 4 and 4. You can actually choose one of these, right? And carry on with that. But it's up to you how to decide that, okay? Okay, so meeting. Who'll start with presenting their own content? What are you prepared? I've seen something from Romania, it's really good, so maybe you can actually, you can start.
So yeah, basically we already did kind of a design. It's like a book, a brochure, like a book, and we already did some itineraries for it. We put some pictures forward, just because we didn't do.
Short and to the point, so that people get a clear picture of where your party stands on this topic. My first question goes to the Solidarity Group. If the chip is used for health purposes and we can access patients' records via the chip, how can we make sure the system isn't abused?
Speak now.
What?
It's a different scenario for you in the Liberty Group, isn't it? How would it be possible to prevent abuse if the chip is used for commercial purposes?
Well, I don't think it should be used. The Liberty Group is against it. But if the person agrees to give their personal data, the companies can use them only with their approval.
Moving on to the ecology group. Why do you oppose implanting chips in children? Aren't they the ones that we want to protect the most? But you in a tradition group want to accept tracking for security purposes. Why?
There are many threats nowadays of terrorist attacks, and by tracking people with chips people, they will be safe because there are a lot of people out there.
Solidarity group. With all due respect, if the chip is used to track criminals, it is your underprivileged voters that may suffer forced implants, isn't it?
Yeah, we guarantee health, education, and employment for, and therefore the chip shouldn't be used or abused by people to get something wrong.
Back to the ecology group. If chip implants remain voluntary, only honest citizens would get chips, and in that case, tracking people wouldn't be particularly useful, now would it? Let me then ask the Liberty Group if the chip could be referred to as a modern-day ball and chain.
Yeah, it affects our liberty, it goes directly to our human rights and privileges because my time is up.
The next question goes to the tradition group. Isn't the personal identification business a matter for national police forces rather than the European Union?
I think, well, we think that the matter of security should be the primary goal, and that we should protect everyone that we can in the European Union, not only the national nation.
And with these last words, I'd like to say thank you to our participants for an exciting...
In our history is not known for certain. In the past, Pia represented a part of the wedding costume, but years later it was worn by every girl from the village, the details and the fabric depending on their status. The weaving and sewing of the traditional shirt was inherited from mother to daughter, and its cut suggests the shape of a cross. Here we have the martishor, like a lot of them. The martishor is given to boys by girls at the beginning of March, and it's a symbol of nature's rebirth and hope, and it's said to bring wealth and luck. The two colors, red and white, are open to interpretation. The red color may symbolize the vitality of woman, and the white color may represent the wisdom of man. The painted eggs, as you can see here, are associated with Easter, one of the biggest holidays of Christians, but the practice of painting eggs is older even than Christianity itself. The tradition says that they are a cure against charms and dark magic. Besides just boiling eggs in water with red pigment, Romanians use a unique way of painting them, creating true art. The decorative details are numbers and different from one village to another. The Christian legends connect the symbol of red painted eggs with Jesus' sufferings and his spilled blood. The black ceramics of Magina are an evidence of Romanian Dacian roots. It is found only in pottery workshop in Magina, Suceava County. The technique of creating such vessel has been kept to this day with only few changes, but the technique of decorating and the shapes of the final products are kept entirely to the very first day. During communism, possessing a potter's wheel was illegal, and many potters had to quit doing this activity or to practice it still.
Okay, so please,
The spoon. The magic spoon.
show them the tree of life, please. Show them the tree of life. So that you can see
over here.
Yeah,
It's the tree of life, and it symbolizes the feeding of life physically and spiritually. Through its branches, it's stretching through to the sun, feeding itself with energy. And inside its leaves, it keeps the food that is supposed to be the life giver, that is the fruit. Next, I'm gonna talk about food because that seems pretty logical for me to talk about food. But yeah, that's the traditional winter food we call piftie consists of meat, well preserved in a garlic-flavored gelatin-like stew, making it like a jelly with meat inside. Even if it can be cooked at any given time of the year, it's mostly seen during winter, usually during or after Christmas. Then I'll go to the tradition of cutting the pig, seen as more of a tradition by the locals and as a ritual by the ones that have ever cut one. It is surrounded by a lot of hard work and preparations to cut the pig. First of all, it's required that the man doing the job has a steady hand so that the pig feels no pain. It is then cooked with a torch and washed with salt several times during the process. And then a series of cuts follow, and they actually have to be perfect, so not any man can do it. One pig is enough to make lots of dishes, such as pork chops, sausages, piftie, and many more. And the people's favorite is usually being the skin. I know that might be weird, but it's actually kind of good.
Of the dreams of our ancestors to create peace and prosperity for everyone on the continent. I am glad that in the role play at Simone Bay on Tuesday, you experienced firsthand that a united Europe is also about the perseverance to make compromises. And compromises should not be seen as something negative. On the contrary, compromises are the means to reach common goals. Dear friends, in our world today in which so much is uncertain, variable, complex and ambiguous, some things remain and will probably always remain. The importance of listening to each other and the necessity for a society of cross-border understanding and cooperation.
Turn your windows. No, not fully.
You have to connect first, and then you'll be answering stupid questions.
We invited everyone to choose a color for their country and also to write like a bit of an introduction to their country. And we added as well the QR code, which is not on that one, but it's on the flyer over there. And if you scan that one, you can see the whole brochure, which is online.
So now let's go to the marketing group. Talha and Domigar were together with me in the marketing group. First, we just were discussing about our target market. So in this case, this was the youth. We also did sort of a market research and explored the population of Strasbourg. Since we're aiming at the young people, we found some statistics that 28% of Strasbourg's population belongs to this age range between 15 and 29 years old, and this is the biggest age group that lives in Strasbourg. So the conclusion was that Strasbourg is actually made of young people, so that was advantage of handing out this brochure to young people, since most of them live, since there is a big number of them living in Strasbourg. Then we also presented the brochure to the employers at tourist office, where we explained what we did.
Check some interesting info that we've written here. Also, you can check our online version with more details. We provide you with guided tour day by day. If you like more fun, more entertaining activities, more adventurous activities, this is the brochure for you. Thank you.
Alright, so we're Erasmus Plus students, and we make a tour guide about all the 5 countries we're from. And yeah, if you want to see it, then you can scan the QR code as well for a bigger tour. So there you go.
I found this. I mean, we're giving efforts here with these. Some hotels, you can check in and eat. The second day is in Fatice. There you can visit the UNESCO Museum, the Art Museum, and you can have a walk in the city. We also put in hotels and restaurants. The third day is in Moor. This is more for the young people. Here you can go on the Escalada Park adventure. You can have fun hiking the mountains, maybe play some paintball, and also visit some monasteries that are really beautiful, and all of them are in the UNESCO patrimony. The day 4, it's on the Transraro. It's the third Alpine road in Romania. It's really beautiful. You can go there by car. The landscapes are amazing. You can take some pictures there. As well as
why they're chosen, why they're special.
The next week of the first week of the marathon, so this is the city of Prague, and it's also known as the city of angels. And the best thing you can do in marathons is basically sit and drink a coffee on one of the beautiful squares and just enjoy the view of historical architecture. If you're fond of biology, then you should visit the Museum of Insects. And another thing that you can do is take a bike tour and visit a Prague Castle, which is 30 kilometers away from Prague.
For week 2 we have Istria, which is Croatia's biggest peninsula, and it is also really popular for young people because of many clubs and beach parties and variety of other things you can do. So for the first city we have Pula, which is mostly cultural, it's Asian Roman architecture and things like that. And also an interesting thing to do in Pula is to visit the Pula Aquarium, which is actually built inside an old Roman fortress, so it's a really nice combination of Roman architecture and modern science. And then Rovinj is more on the young people's side. It is really nice and also popular, but more relaxing. And in Rovinj you can actually visit the scuba diving center for the adventurers, and you can actually dive and explore the second ship that was sunk during the World War I.
Honestly, I didn't have that many expectations at the start of the project. It was my first time being abroad and I wasn't sure what we were going to do. But honestly, I have been very pleasantly surprised by how fun and exciting coming to other countries. Even about our visits to the European Parliament. So, just in general, I talked about how our experiences were, what our experiences were, and how we tried being.
Our visit in Strasbourg, actually touring Strasbourg, as you can see over there, to give as many details about them as possible without going into the extreme, without talking too much and boring people. And that's what I'm going to do now.
Where we met Mr. Henk Olers, and I've never gotten his last name right, I know that. I'm sure he will forgive me, I know he will. But we had some ideas on how we were going to start, what we were going to do. We were both within entrepreneurship, but after a while we also developed it into English, because we knew that from experience that the English skills and the proficiency and confidence in using English as a language also was something that came out of such international projects. So it developed from there. After a while we also made contact with Kristina from Croatia. Kristina also had a contact with Turkey and with Romania. So suddenly we were all five. And then we were ready to prepare an Erasmus Plus application. So when we started this, we had some ideas about how the project would look. We had an idea when we started, for example, thinking about an e-newsletter. We had an idea of how it could look in the end. I can speak for myself, it's not what I imagined it would look like. So it's much better than that. So that's credit to you all for working with this project. You have made it quite a lot better than at least what I imagined. And this is also in the nature of this project, because it's an innovative project, and that means that you have to develop it underway. It's not a fixed way to the end of the end of the project. So and it's also a part of this entrepreneurial bit is that you the students also have ownership to everything that you make in the project. Christina mentioned that 21st century skills, those are very important, and I'm sure that they will be very important to you also in the future. So by taking part in such a project, I hope that you will have use for